Hello, my gorgeous souls. Apologies for that previous live. For some reason, Zoom just didn't want to record my audio. So I'm just hoping that you can hear me okay right now. I'm actually going to pull it up here just to make sure. Yeah, perfect. You can absolutely hear me. Hallelujah. So then that's obviously something to do with Zoom, which I have to sort after this. So I still wanted to come in and give you some juice and give you some value. So I just thought I'd just literally come live straight through here. So this won't be, so here goes. So I was just diving there into inviting you into my free challenge, which is happening next week. So we kick off on Monday the 25th and it's called Making Moves, because it's my commitment to you to help support, coach, train, teach you to understand that this is the month that you blow the F up. Like, we're not playing anymore. Like, this is the time where you go, oh, I'm going all in, I'm going in hot, and I want to be there to help support you. So kicking off on Monday, I'll leave the link in here for you to come on and join. So in today's Tash Talks show, I really want to talk on consistency and when consistency isn't the problem. Now, I speak so much about consistency because it's really what it gets you results, okay? But this is going to be a little bit polarizing in today's live because I'm kind of going to contradict what I'm saying. But let me go there. So firstly is, consistency is very important. So if I think about my fitness journey, I've been consistently training 5 times a week now with my sister for probably the last 6 months, I think, I would say. I've always kind of trained and done exercise, mainly to help my back, to help support my back. But I've never been this consistent. I've never showed up every single Monday to Friday at, anything between 5:30 and 6:15 to work on my body, my mind. For me, I made a decision that I was going to get into the best shape of my life. Like, that's what I was going to do. I didn't put a time stamp on it that has to happen in 3 months. It's ridiculous, but I didn't do that. I just said, I'm going to get in the best shape ever. Now, if I really think about and being totally honest with you, I've been consistent for 6 months, like full on consistent. I've had one injury in the midst of all of that. So between, I think it was October, November time when I injured my hip. So I had to take 8 weeks out there. But aside that, I've been consistent for 6 months. And I am not in the best shape of my life. Like, I'm not there already. I'm far from that. But this is where consistency has to kick in, because the part of your brain's going to go, oh, I'm not seeing results now, because we're humans and we want very quick external validation. We want to post something and it goes viral. We want to see engagement. We want to see our, comments. We want to see somebody and they go, oh, wow, you look really well. That's the way we are built. So when we're not seeing results, we want to go and hide. We want to go and hibernate. We want to just what's the point? This isn't doing it anymore. This is the time where you stick with it. Okay? It's not we stick with it when it's easy and then that's great, because then that's easy when it's easy. But it's really about the tenacity to keep going when you are not seeing the results right there in front of you. And you have to understand that this is going to take time, like it does when you're scaling your business. It sometimes can happen really quickly and sometimes it doesn't. But if you're in this for the long run, if you're in this to build a profitable, sustainable, successful business, then it's not going to happen overnight. You know this. You've been in business for X amount of time now. So you understand that it's about layering up and a compound effect, right? If you're 1% better every single day, when 100 days, you're going to be 100% better, right? You have to keep that commitment to yourself and keep showing up and keep eating the right foods and keep training and keeping yourself committed to it. So the consistency is so important, whether that's posting every single day on social media, selling your offers, tweaking your offers, serving your clients. You have to be consistent. There's no other sexier way to put it. You just do. It's one of those no-brainers, non-negotiables. You start a business, you build a business, you scale a business, be freaking consistent, because that's the only way it's going to happen for you. But then I want to go against this point, because I want to say, well, what if the consistency actually isn't the problem? Let me share this with you. What if you're going, Tash, I'm showing up every single day in my business. I am posting every single day. I am sending out my emails every single week. I am showing up on stories and selling my offers, right? And then you're going to me, but how come I'm not seeing the multi-5-figure months? This is where this comes in. It isn't a consistency problem then, because you're showing up, you're doing the work. So it can't be the fact that you're not getting results because of consistency, because you are being consistent. If you're not showing up, that's a consistency problem, and you need to work on that. But if you are showing up and you're putting in the work and you're doing the social media stuff and you're doing all the things, then guess what? Then we actually need to look deeper into what actually isn't working, because something strategically, and then there's of course the subconscious, is there belief work that we need to do? Do we need to look at it from, are you keep reaffirming the unconscious belief that it's not working, so our rise is looking for all the reasons for not working? That's a subconscious thing. I want to focus today on strategy. Strategically, something might need tweaking. Her clients come to me, and one of my clients actually had this exact scenario happen, and she was like, I'm doing all the things, Tash, it just doesn't seem to be working. Now, I just want to caveat this by saying one of the first things we've done was worked on her belief system. So we shifted that, because that was definitely playing into this whole narrative. Then we looked at a strategy. And this is where it was kind of like the goggles come off, and it's like, now I'm starting to see why this isn't working. Okay. Now, and I want to give you a few pointers of things that I want you to look at. First thing, messaging. You need to look at your messaging. Please do not think that you just, like, social media is strategy. You have to know what you're doing when it comes to social media. This isn't about just putting anything up on Instagram, on TikTok, and just hoping that it will go viral. And then because the fact you'll go viral, it means that you're going to make 10K months. Like, no. Whoever told you that? No. Can you make 10K months without going viral? Absolutely, yes. Have I had clients that have gone viral and not made 10K? Yes. Have I had clients that have made 10K without going viral? Yes, right? So it's not about that. That's not the equation we want to look at. We want to look at, is your messaging, do you have a strategic plan of like how to message, like what to actually write? Or is this a kind of, I'm just going to go with the flow and just see what kind of vibes up and comes, and then I'm just going to put like, no, you've got to have a strategy when it comes to social media. So one of the first things I want you to look at is messaging. This is what I did with my client. We looked at, who are you actually speaking to? And I don't mean, does your ideal client drink this drink? You know, how many children does she have? Like, that's not what I mean. When I speak on your ideal client, like, do you know what's going on in her head right now? Do you know what you want to be going on in her head? What is her externals looking like right now? And what does she want them to look like? Like, you need to get into the nitty gritty of this. It doesn't matter what perfume, what time she wakes up in the morning. Like, you want to be getting into the feelings, internal and external, what her life looks like right now. And what she cares about is the desire, where she wants to get her life to. So if you are not clear around who it is that your messaging is for, who this offer is for, and not just who it's for, but like, are you speaking to that ideal client at the journey, at the stage, at the point of where she is right now? So I had a client that was wanting to speak to more of a advanced business owner, someone that was already making money in her business, looking to scale her business. They're two very different things. Building your business, the strategy that you need is very different to like someone that's scaling a business, right? Her content that she was putting out there was 3 tips to this, 5 tips to this, like just surface level stuff. And that isn't going to move someone. That's not going to make someone an empowered buyer that goes straight into DMs, okay? So what I want you to do is like actually go back, have a look at your Instagram and see it from like, pretend as if you're the Instagram coach and you're looking at it from that perspective. Then I want you to look at your Instagram and look at it from the perspective of your ideal client. Like when she goes onto your Instagram, is she going, this is for me? She is speaking to me. Because like I said to my client, who you want to be attracting in, because she's freaking amazing at what she does. But the content you're putting out there are like basic stuff. Like when you first start the business, the type of things you need to know, right? She doesn't want to be teaching her clients step by step of how to post a reel. But yet that is what your content is speaking to. You're not speaking to that client that's already making money in her account, in her business and looking to scale it. You're teaching on how to get your first client. Well, of course, you're going to attract in more of a beginner, someone that's just started off in their business because of your content. So I want you to stop looking at this from a Instagram's against me and the algorithm doesn't want my business to grow and TikTok doesn't like small businesses. Like that's absolute BS that you're just telling yourself. And what we want to look from it is from a strategic point of view, like what can we change? What can we pivot? What can we amend and tweak? This isn't like a, oh my God, everything needs to change. We need to look at this and like, oh, what actually needs to change? Am I speaking to my dreamy ideal client? Am I meeting her where she's at right now? Is my content actually speaking to the stage and the point of the journey that she's on, right? Think about if, let's say you're a personal trainer and you're talking to, you know, how many calories to do, and to, let's say you're speaking to, you want to be working with someone that she's already showing up. She's already eating the right food. She just doesn't seem to, and what she needs is your macro magic, let's just say. But your content is for somebody that literally is eating McDonald's and sitting there going, I don't know why I'm not losing weight, right? Your content is going to attract in those dreamy ideal clients. And how you know if you probably have got a messaging problem is if you are getting people into your DMs and they are not ideal clients, that they're not at that level, that stage, that part of the journey, whatever it is, that you want to be helping, then it's because your messaging is calling those dreamy ideal clients. So, for example, when I was changing and pivoting mine from just foundational mindset stuff to more business, and now I teach that subconscious, now I teach about next level mindset. It's very different to the content that I was putting out there. And also I'm attracting a very different ideal client, which is exactly what I want. My ideal client has changed. So my messaging needs to reflect that. So you need to be looking at your content, your messaging at those points. Then the second part is kind of like part A and part B when it comes to your content is, and I'm just going to be honest here, is your content engaging? Is it valuable? Like, do people want to share it? Are they like soaking it up? Is your page where they're just like, oh my God, Susie's just messaged, like she's just new posted, I need to see what that is. Is your the type of page that when someone sees that you've just done an Insta story, they can't wait to jump on and watch that, right? Is that what your page is bringing? Like, think about, is it entertaining? And I'm not saying you've got to do funny dances or mime, but I mean, is it entertaining as it's pulling somebody in, they want to stop their scroll? Because when we think about going viral, the three pillars are engaging, valuable, and entertainment. Like, that's why, for example, when we think about somebody, I'm trying to think of an example outside business, Mrs. Hinch, right? Her videos, they're entertaining. Like, she's got like R&B tunes, and then she's cleaning her shower curtain, or she's doing something, and her videos, the way they switch is so engaging. It's making it. Another person that's on TikTok that's gone absolute viral is I'm the Problem. She's storytelling. She does these quick snap videos. She's storytelling about when she was in the salon. She's storytelling about her husband. Like, she's not selling anything. It's just so entertaining. It's so valuable. So you want to be looking at what is making your Instagram, your TikTok different. Like, why is somebody going to stop and like want to follow you and watch your content? Okay, and this doesn't have to be, like I said, like if you're not somebody that wants to do a trending audio and mime to it, or you're not somebody that wants to do the new TikTok viral dance, then you don't have to. You can still be very engaging. There's a money person, I can't remember their name, that I follow, and purely like, it's not, they don't do any singing or any dancing. It's so valuable. Like, someone that, like, I'm constantly pressing save, because the stuff they're sharing, you're just like, and also it's very different the way she shares it. So of course it's engaging. It's making me entertained. Even if it's not like a haha, it's so funny, or like, oh, she's done a dance, in what she's actually saying is keeping me there. So you want to be thinking about that as well. It isn't just about putting up a pretty quote. Like, gone are the days where you could chuck up a quote on Instagram and it would go viral and get like 300 likes. Like, that's gone. And how are you going to be standing out in your industry if you're writing the same things everyone else is writing? If you're saying the same things in the same way like everybody else, you're just going to be the same. And it's not that you've got to reinvent the wheel or create something that's massively different. You're different. So I need to see more of that from you. Why somebody comes to work with me and opposed to another business coach is because of me. The way I deliver content, the way I speak on things, the way I energetically do things, move in my life, move in my business. That's why somebody comes to work with me. The way I show up, how I'm just me on my lives. It's the same if you follow me on TikTok, Insta, than if you meet me in real life. So you really want to be thinking, how can I infuse my personality into my content even more, right? So it makes it more engaging. Another thing I want you to look at is your content all of the same stuff? And what I mean by this is something I teach my clients, is there's different lenses of content. And this means that you can be talking about one topic, but the way you can produce content in 7 different ways, 7 different lenses, is 7 kind of different pieces of content, all from like one same topic. So is the same, if I was to go onto your Instagram, is it the same type of content that always goes up? And what I mean by this is not that you don't talk about the same topic. Like my topics are subconscious mind, like I'm always forever speaking about the subconscious mind, and strategy. I'm always talking about messaging, content, strategy, how to blend the subconscious with the strategy. So it's not so much of what I'm saying changes, it's how I am delivering that. So I could be talking about how my client, which I did, made 2 of my clients made 20K last month, right? Their first 20K months. But the way I spoke about it was very, very different in all my pieces of content through different lenses. And that's why I teach 7 different lenses to my clients, right? And this is, and has been like my one-on-one clients, but something pretty epic is coming next week where you're going to be able to learn all of this magic. I've got to stop myself from saying it. All of this magic in a very different container. So it's going to be, pretty epic, but I'm just going to let... And another thing I want you to think about is, are you, and I see this so much, constantly speaking to the pain points, like, oh, we need to change this up. Like just forever speaking to the pain points. Well, guess what? Your ideal client knows where she's at. You're like, are you stuck? Are you frustrated? Are you pissed off? Yes. She already knows this. And yes, it's important to have awareness of where your ideal client is. And once you do your ideal client work in the way that I do it, you will absolutely know exactly what her pain points are. But it doesn't mean we sell to them. What you want to be thinking about is where she actually wants to get to. And again, this goes against the grain because everyone is selling to the pain points. Everyone's doing this. But what I want you to think about is doing things differently, which is, guess what? Einstein said, just like doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Insanity, right? Whereas, why don't we look at this from a really strategic point of view and go, right, if I was to tweak my messaging, Tash, you're right. I haven't really completely understood where my ideal client is. I've done the basic work. We've all done that. What time does she wake up? What does her nighttime routine look like? How many kids does she have? What colour's her hair? What, makeup brands does she use? Like really? Like, is that gonna... No, I want to feel seen. I want to go on someone's Instagram page. Right, I'll give you an example. My coach put out... I found her on TikTok. I watched 20 of her videos. No lie, literally binged. I mean, it took me like 10 minutes of my life, right? TikToks are so quick. 20 of her videos, straight into her DMs, signed up to her mini mind. Like, boom, like that. Why? Because her content spoke to me. It was engaging. It was entertaining. She wasn't doing miming, and there's nothing wrong with that. I love a mime. You will always see a mime from me. You will always see a dance from me. Like, that's who I am. That's my personality. That doesn't mean that's the secret sauce to success. No, the secret sauce to success is being yourself. Are you showing up on Instagram and TikTok as yourself, or are you hiding? Am I really seeing your personality? Because that's what I want. Like, I saw my coach's personality. I saw what she was like. I saw her give great value. I was like, wow, if this is what she gives for free, can you imagine? She got me to think and feel very differently to when I first landed on her page. Bingo. That then I become a follower. Then I go straight into her DMs to become a buyer. That is how you move people quickly. Right? And it's all in your messaging. Messaging. Your content is so, so, so important. So I want you to, let's round this up. I want you to look at these things. So I want you to look at your messaging. Are you speaking, do you know your true ideal client? Are you speaking directly to her heart and her soul? Are you speaking to the part, stage, the journey, the point of where she's at? Speak to that. Then I want you to look at the different types of content you're putting out there. So are they engaging? Is it valuable? Is it entertaining? Right? What needs some work? What needs some tweaking? Then I want you to look at, Are you hitting the different content lenses? What do I mean by this? So one of my content lenses will be storytelling. Another one of my content lens is social proof and authority. So when you go onto my Instagram or my TikTok, you'll see storytelling. You'll see authoritative social proof. You'll see education. Like, educational content isn't dead. It isn't dead. It's so freaking valuable. The way you've been doing it hasn't been valuable. 5 tips for this, 3 tips for this. Like, your audience are bored of this. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. They're bored. We are the audience. You think about another person saying 5 tips to change your mindset. You're like, yawn, right? But there's a way you can do that without it being boring. I do educational content all of the time on my Instagram, my TikTok, all of the time. I may be teaching what those 3 hacks are, but I'm not doing it in a way that everyone else is doing it. And that's really what you want to look at. How we can infuse your education content into like your personality. How we can infuse what it is that you're saying, but in a way that makes it engaging, makes it someone want to go, save. I need to save this. This is absolutely brilliant. So I might be saying the same thing. Hello, hey Samantha. I might be saying the same thing as somebody else, but the way I say it is very, very different. In my personality, in my tone. You know, is there some words that you say outside? Like, for example, you know, I love badass. I'm like, hey girl, like that's words that I would use. Is that personality traits coming out for you? Don't try and pretend to be somebody else. Think about, how can I show me even more on social media? Right? Then I want you to look at, are you hitting the different content lenses? And then are you speaking to just her pain points? Like, go over and review, do an audit on your own social media and be like, yeah, like all I'm speaking to is the pain points. All I seem to be putting out is this type of content. I'm that person that Tasha's talking about, doing 5 tips for this, 3 tips for that. I'm not seeing my true personality come out. Oh my goodness, yeah, I definitely need to want this to be more engaging or more educational, more... You'll know by how many saves you get. You know by the same people watching your Insta stories how valuable your stuff is. You'll know. I've had people DM me today going, where's Tasha Talks podcast today? And I'm like, girl, wouldn't I like to know? Somewhere in the audio there. And I've got to re-record it today, right? That's what you want. You want to create that demand. I mean, it's free. But people are messaging me go, where's Tasha Talks podcast today? It's normally out at 7 a.m. I'm like, I know, it's coming. So... and also I just want to caveat this by saying, just because I'm very animated, just because I am, I don't know what the words are, but I'm very, I was just about to say a word, and then I was like, actually no, because I was going to say dramatic, but I'm like, that didn't feel right to say. But I'm very animated, I'm very loud, I'm very out there, right? That isn't what you have to be. If you're not like that and you're somebody that speaks a lot more quieter and you're somebody that takes pauses, how engaging is that? You don't have to be a certain personality type to be successful. You need to be you. I need to see that more. You don't have to be that Mrs. Hinch that's on doing garage music with head cleaning products if that isn't who you are. If you're that type of energy that does love to do miming and dancing, freaking do it. If you're not, then don't, right? So I hope you found those really, really helpful. I'm going to be giving some more juice next week. So definitely come and join Making Moves, my free 3-day challenge, which is going to be epic AF. And then to celebrate at the end of that challenge, I'm launching a very new, never been done in the realm of NCC offer. And it's really going to be diving into this even more. So if you're like Tash, this is exactly what I'm going to work on. I've got something up my sleeve for you. If you're like Tash, I don't want to wait till next Wednesday, send me a DM. And yeah, we can have a chat. But it's absolutely epic beyond epic. I love you. Go and have the most incredible day. Get auditing your social media, right? So we can really kind of leverage this. And I can't wait to see you in the challenge that we kick off on Monday. Mwah! Have a badass day.